What's up, guys? Charlie Scruggs All Season Podcast. Um, Rose Bowl. If you're Alabama fans, you kind of had this in the back of your mind. This was sort of worst case scenario. Uh, you know, I mentioned in the preview that you come out, you hit, uh, you hit Indiana if you're Alabama, and they get back up no matter how hard you hit them or how much momentum you think you have. They play the next play. Um, Nick Saban will call this imposing your will. I mean, anything you could think of, dominating, imposing your will, burying, whatever you want to call it, they did it. Indiana absolutely annihilated Alabama in every facet of the game. Bama couldn't get anything going. The Indiana defense, like I said again in the preview, they just did what they did all year. Doesn't matter who's on the other side. They do what they do, and if you're good enough, you'll beat them. And if you're not, you just won't. Again, Kirk Signetti, they show him on the sidelines. He looks like the freaking Grinch stole Christmas. And I'm telling you this, man, that dude's got that team inspired. He's got that team rolling, and they got it going on. And if you're, excuse me, if you're Alabama, let's be honest, this team was never going to win the national championship. I can't think of any team in the history of college football that's ever won a national championship and not been at least in the top 40 rushing the ball, probably more than that. But again, it just wasn't going to happen. And when you find ways to win, I mean, they had a great season, but in the end, it's you meet a team like Indiana, number one team for a reason. They got here doing what they did tonight, and man, it was one to forget if you're an Alabama fan, right? Yeah, I mean, it was one to forget. Again, all the holes got exposed. It just is what it is. If you're looking at it as far as something to hang your hat on, again, just look at what you did with no run game. I mean, literally none. That's about all you got, right? Look at this season. Number one seed in the SEC, made it this far. Lost to the team that's probably going to play in the national championship game. And, stick on that. I guess last thing I'll say is, this was the first team in this playoff era to have a bye and then win that game, right? And I think that actually worked in Indiana's favor. You looked at, uh, you know, just last night, you look at Miami, Ohio State, they're in the same position as Bama, right? 2 versus 10, 1 versus 9, and the 10 seed won there. So, you think like, hey, if we're not ready to play, like this should be a wake up call. Like this can very well happen. And they came out and again, absolutely dominated it. And a little nugget real quick before I get off. It really started in, I think it was like the second or third drive. It was one of the first passes I think Mendoza completed. He was rolling to his right. He threw a pass, and the receiver was here, and Zabian Brown was literally touching his shoulder. And if he throws that ball at his face mask, his inside shoulder, really anywhere but where he threw that, it might have been picked off. He's on the move with the defender, probably Bama's best cover corner this year when it's all said and done, and threw it about a foot outside his, outside shoulder pad, and the guy made the catch. And I looked at my fiance and I said, I was like, that, stuff like that, it changes the game. You know what I mean? It wins you the Heisman. You do that stuff. Just little things that you don't really notice unless you're watching the game. And again, they did that times 1,000. So congratulations. Indiana, you've had a fantastic year. Curt Cignetti, he's paid his dues. You know, went from Alabama to a Division II school, and then worked his way up, man. You know, well-oiled machine over there in Indiana. So, um, good luck in the next round, right? So, what's it gonna be? 3 Big Ten teams, something like that. 1 SEC in the Final Four. Man, it's looking dicey out there for SEC fans. So, again, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining, and see you guys next time.